Have you ever had that feeling, that unsettling sense of being, well, invisible? Like maybe nobody really sees you or gets who you are deep down. Or maybe you've wondered, do I actually matter in this big world?
Yeah.
Does my life mean anything specific?
Yeah, that's a really common human feeling, isn't it? That need to be seen.
It really is. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into something that speaks right to that. It's an old text, but it has this profound idea. It's a really comforting idea that you are known fully, intimately. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Our main source today is Psalm 139, specifically the first 14 verses.
A classic.
Right.
Psalm 139, written by King David, is a timeless reflection on God's intimate knowledge of us. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. These opening words set the tone for a psalm that bridges ancient faith and modern questions. David marvels at a God who knows every thought, every struggle, every hope. In a world where leaders are often called to guide others, Psalm 139.
And it's not just some historical poem. It explores this really intense divine connection. And we think it holds some surprising insights, especially for today, with all our anxieties about identity and maybe feeling lost in the crowd.
Definitely.
So our mission really is to pull out those nuggets of knowledge from this ancient writing and see what it might mean for you, especially if you've ever felt kind of overlooked.
And what's so insightful here, I think, is that it's not just about God having, information about you. It's about this deep personal connection that exists even before anything else. It kind of pushes back against this modern idea where, algorithms try to know us from data points, or we build these online personas.
Totally.
This psalm suggests something more original, this radical acceptance. It hits that core human need to be truly seen and understood underneath all the performance.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty amazing how something written thousands of years ago can feel so relevant to what people feel right now.
It offers comfort,
Yeah.
but also a really unique way to think about your own existence.
So as we get into this deep dive, the real heart is Psalm 139, verses 1 to 14. It's beautifully written. I'd invite you, as you listen, just consider the words themselves as we go through them.
And just for context, theologically speaking, this psalm is often seen as this amazing expression of divine immanence.
Immanence. Yeah, the idea that God isn't just, way out there distant, but is actually intimately involved, deeply close to individuals. It's a very personal reflection.
Okay, let's start right at the beginning then, verses 1 to 4. The writer opens with this really bold statement. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me.
Straight away.
Exactly. And it's not just a casual no. The psalm spells it out. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. It even gets into our unspoken thoughts. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely.
Wow.
Yeah, it paints this picture of knowledge so complete, so thorough, that you can't actually be misunderstood. What do you make of that kind of knowing, someone getting your thoughts even before you've fully formed them?
Well, that's a fantastic question, because it really gets at the difference between just data collection and true understanding, doesn't it? If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's not just knowing facts about, yes, your address, your job, whatever. This implies understanding you, your core, your spirit, your deep motivations, your essence. Think about your smartphone, right? It tracks your location, your browsing, builds this digital profile.
Sure.
But this text is saying God doesn't need any of that. He knew you before you were even born, before you took a breath. Right. The implications are huge. Being known that completely, down to the thoughts you haven't even put into words yet, it suggests this pre-existing relationship, a knowing that doesn't depend on what you do or even how well you know yourself.
That level of understanding is, well, it's incredible to think about. But I wonder, could that feel a bit overwhelming? Like there's nowhere to hide.
That's a natural reaction, I think.
But the psalm actually tackles that directly, and it flips it into comfort, which is where it gets really interesting, I find. So moving to verses 5 through 12, it shifts to this grander scale, this idea of a presence you just can't escape. The writer says, you hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me.
That hemmed-in imagery is powerful.
It is. And then it asks, rhetorically, where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? It describes this, the cosmic reach. If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And the poetry is just beautiful. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me fast. It even hits on that fear of darkness, saying, Even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day.
For darkness is as light to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've really highlighted that boundless presence, what theologians call omnipresence.
Right.
And it is presented so beautifully as a comfort. But, it's worth saying, for some people, that nowhere to hide idea could initially sound like surveillance, not solace.
That's sure.
But the psalmist does this brilliant thing, bridging that gap. This constant presence isn't portrayed as judgmental. It's shown as guiding, sustaining.
Yeah.
It's God's hand holding you fast, not pinning you down.
So this idea, this immanence, means even at your absolute highest point or your lowest low, even in those dark times or when you feel totally lost, this presence is there, bringing light, bringing guidance. And that really raises an important question, I think, for you listening. How does it feel to consider a presence that's always with you? Not like a warden, but like a steady companion, guiding you, holding you, even when maybe you'd rather hide away.
That distinction is key, isn't it? That it's supportive, not judgmental.
Yeah.
That changes everything. Okay, so moving to the next part, verses 13 and 14, the focus shifts to creation. And it's incredibly personal.
Yes.
It uses this vivid, almost intimate language. For you created my inmost being, and inmost being here feels like more than just the physical, right? Like spirit, consciousness.
Absolutely, your very core.
You knit me together in my mother's womb. That knit me together, it implies such intention, such intricate personal design.
It's not accidental.
No. And then comes this amazing declaration. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well.
Yeah.
It just hammers home this idea that you were formed intentionally, purposefully, with immense care.
So what does this actually mean for you, listening right now? Well, it reinforces this profound idea that your life matters deeply to God, precisely because of this intentional creation. That phrase, fearfully and wonderfully made, it points directly to this sense of inherent worth and intrinsic value that exists before any achievements, before any societal labels.
Yeah.
It's almost like in a world that often bases value on external things, what you do, what you own, how well you perform, this text says something radical. Your worth is built in. It was woven into you from the very start.
Wow.
It really encourages you to think about what it means to believe you weren't just a random occurrence, but you were actually created with purpose, with care, not just by chance.
So taking all this in, what does it mean for you? Personally, right now? Let's pause for a moment, just for some reflection.
Yeah.
As we've kind of walked through Psalm 139, which part of it clicks with you the most today? What speaks to where you are? And how does it really feel to grapple with this idea that you're known completely, every action, every half-formed thought, every hidden part of you, and despite all that, or maybe because of it, you're deeply loved and valued?
Yeah.
And maybe going a bit deeper, have there been times or places in your life where you've tried to hide, maybe hide from that kind of knowing presence, perhaps hide from others, or even yourself? What might it look like to even consider inviting that profound, accepting knowledge into that hidden space?
You know, what really stands out here is that potential journey, going from maybe feeling invisible to feeling profoundly seen.
Right.
And this source, this psalm, suggests that just resting in that truth that you are known, that this presence is always with you, that you were created with purpose, that can be deeply comforting, it can actually be transformative.
Yeah.
It offers this kind of fundamental security, in a world that often feels pretty insecure.
Absolutely. So our deep dive into Psalm 139 today really brings home this incredibly powerful message. God knows you profoundly and loves you deeply. You're never truly invisible, never fundamentally misunderstood, always valued. We've really looked at three core ideas, all connected. God knows you intimately, God is always with you, and God created you with incredible built-in purpose.
Yeah. So as you go about your week, maybe consider spending a little time each day just engaging with the source yourself. Read Psalm 139 verses 1 to 14.
Just sit with it.
Exactly. And perhaps here's a concrete action kind of inspired by the text itself. Maybe write down verse 14 somewhere you'll see it often.
Which one is that again?
I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well.
Powerful.
Just let those words be a reminder for you. You are profoundly known. You are never alone. And you are wonderfully, intricately made with a value that nothing can diminish.